Hi, we're here after the Jimbo and Jackie show with Patti Negri, one of my favorites, and I'm a big fan. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm having a blast. It's like a big old party. I love it.
Well, how do you like the new set?
I love the new set. It's big, it's huge, it has live music, it has a bartender. What could be better?
Right. How'd you like my drinks?
I loved your drinks. I loved it. And you used my ingredients that I had ordered on the first drink that I had.
Well, I mean, I try. I'm trying to be a good bartender. Okay, so I have two questions for you tonight. First being, what was the most emotional experience that you've had, whether it's a reading or an experience with a seance or anything like that? Can you tell us?
Yeah, I think the most emotional I had was also the scariest. I was at a house right in my neighborhood in the Hollywood Hills. It was built by Charlie Chaplin, and it was a big old party house. Party houses get kind of crazy. And then the Rolling Stones manager bought it, and so Rolling Stones stayed there, Mamas and Papas, Graham Parsons, all sorts of people. And then they sold it, and the guy who invented the real-life sex doll moved in. And then he sold it, and Marilyn Manson moved in, and he was my neighbor for 7 years. And we were doing a seance there, and one kid, the one thing I say, it's be a skeptic is all right, but you got to be respectful of the spirits, because whether you believe them or not, they're real. This one kid got disrespectful, and not him, but the cameraman burst into flames, literally, like a V up his back, angel wings of fire up his back, and I'm like, ah, I'm like, you don't burst into flames on my watch. So everybody's screaming. Two cameras actually caught this spontaneous combustion. One camera hit the ceiling, hit the floor. I guess you test the metal of a cameraman by the room bursting into flames. His camera, of course, poor guy is like looking out and wondering why everybody is screaming and pointing at him. But it just burnt up, his shirt burnt off in like mere seconds. It should not have. And all of a sudden, cool medium witch Patti becomes medic Patti, of which I am an EMT, and I'm like, drop and roll, and I'm calling in all my guardian protectors to shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. I don't care what we're filming, we are done. No one bursts into flame on my watch. And I'm watching the blistering on his back. I'm like, oh God. But the cameraman, who was a super skeptic, he was actually intrigued. He's like, no, I'm okay. His shirt burned off. He goes, I have a sweater, I'll put it on. And he's like, no, let's go on. He was inspired. And the kid who was being the idiot got really well behaved. He became like the choir boy in the corner. I'm not going to say anything. And so he wasn't a problem. I literally talked to the ghost. I'm like, come on, we're not even going to get rid of you at the end of the seance. So we were able to finish it. But it was scary. It was really scary. He's burst into flames. But the coolest part, the happy ending part of it, which it is 3 weeks later, the cameraman, his name is Laurent Malachi, he's this beautiful filmmaker. He showed me his back. And where he had burst into flames, it literally had looked like he had got a tattoo of a dragon. Open mouth, sharp teeth, winged head, into the shape of a serpent. And that is the exact energy I called in to shut down the seance. I work dragon energy. I work dragon magic. It's crossroads magic. And I'm like, oh my God, you have a tramp stamp of a dragon on your back. That is like the coolest thing ever. And he thought so too. He actually wrote a movie with Stephen Norrington, the guy who wrote the Blade series and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. And they haven't done it yet. I hope they do. It's because it's about this like Hollywood medium psychic who does every TV show, basically about me. But then a portal opens and it becomes a big old horror film. But I sat down with him literally 5 hours at my dining room table. I go, Laurent, you can't say that. You can't say that. He's like, but you said that. I go, I know I said that, but that opens the veil. You don't want to be one of those cursed horror films, do you? Because that's what happens. Spirits, energy, ghosts, whatever, don't know the difference of a written script page by an author or something that's real. So that's what happens, all those films where all the actors died in a car accident. So if it ever does get made, we changed all those words, so it won't be a cursed film. It'll just be a really good and kind of funny horror film.
I've actually heard that. I've heard that about The Exorcist. So they use the wrong lingo in the verbiage, correct?
They use real lingo. They use real lingo. Don't use real, make up a word. Make up a word. You don't need to do something. Every sound we make, it's Heka work, it's Egyptian magic. Every sound we make causes an effect on us. The breath coming out of us is our pneuma. It's our life force. Even the moisture in our breath is our free will. That's why some cultures spit. Like, what a pretty baby. You don't have to spit, but that moisture, that free will, and saying sounds, that's what happens with cursed films.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Oh my gosh. Okay. Second question is, do you ever feel like it's takes too much out of you sometimes when you do something, a seance or a reading or something like that? How do you feel afterwards?
Afterwards, what I call it a hangover. I call it a seance hangover or a mediumship hangover. You feel like, oh my God, I drank a fifth of whiskey, but I didn't drink. It does take a lot out of you. You get better with time. It's just like going to the gym. You get better at it and you get less tired, but it still does take a lot of energy and a lot of focus.
So it's a lot of practice. Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect in everything.
Well, we think you're perfect here, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we cannot wait to see you again, and we hope you come back to see us at Rockefellas Bar. Hopefully you're going to come and investigate.
I promise.
Yay, we can't wait. I'll be there. I'll make damn sure I'm there. So thank you.